What is mental health? Mental health refers to the well-being of a person's behavioral and emotional state of mind. What is mental illness? Mental illness refers to the array of mental health conditions and diseases that can affect a person's thinking, emotions, and behavior.
I'm clinically depressed and I have anxiety.
I found out in 7th grade and they had taken me to a counselor, and they told me, they were asking me questions about how I had been feeling or how I see things in my view, how I see myself and how I see others.
I think it was my sophomore year. My parents took me to a psychologist and they did some tests and interviews with me, and that's when they figured out that I was clinically depressed and had anxiety.
It affects me daily because sometimes it's harder to focus in school because in my head I'm running all these things that are going on, with family or just with myself.
Depression makes it hard to do certain things. It also makes it hard for you to care about yourself, which means taking care of personal hygiene. So it could be as simple as brushing your teeth or brushing your hair or even taking a shower. So there's a lot of struggle with that. Also waking up and getting motivation to do certain things that you have to do in life.
I handle it by usually I tell myself to push it and think about it later on throughout the day, because I don't like thinking about these things at school because it gets harder for me to focus, and usually that's just how I do it. I focus on what I need to do.
There was very unhealthy coping methods that I used where I would put my feelings in a little box, and I decided it'd be better to not feel them.
As the years have passed and progressed, mental health and mental illness has been a topic of discussion that's only ever been bringing more and more attention to it. Some are bringing awareness to those struggling to overcome what they may be facing on a day-to-day basis.
I'm Karina Garza, and I am an assistant program administrator for the children's department. Honestly, when I was growing up and it was my time to hit college, I was like, what do I want to be? So when I evaluated all the careers, I thought, okay, so let me get something that I want to help others. So when I went in it, I actually did not have a clue of how rewarding this field is. So I like it because you see your work, you build that resiliency, you help someone understand that what they're going through is a recovery. They're gonna possibly, maybe live with it, but they'll formulate strategies, tools to cope with whatever it is that they're struggling with.
But after going through therapy, I learned of new coping methods, which would be writing my feelings down or focusing all the negative energy into positive things, such as music and my artwork and stuff like that.
Mental health can be something that it could be situational, environmental. Is it in your head? No, it could be something that you're going through. Mental health is like it's like having the flu, it's like having a cold, diabetes, it's like being diagnosed with a medical condition. The same is for mental health.
There have been many, with my past friendships or relationships, they told me to just get over things because I'm overreacting. But if it were if it was easy to just get over all of this, I wouldn't have been diagnosed in any of this, depression or anything.
Many people have told me I was overreacting. My parents, my brother-in-law, my sisters. And it's not really do anything about it. I just kind of went all right, and I had to pretty much deal with it. I think it's more about the culture that we live in, where it's mental illness doesn't really exist. You have a nice house, you have food, why are you sad? You have no reason to be sad, type of thing.
If society and the people around them, believe that, you know what, we've noticed that you've been isolated, we've noticed a change in your behavior, they can probably push them to say okay, wait a minute, this is not just in my head, people around me are seeing them. School play a big role here because the children spend a long time at the campus. So basically teachers, counselors, they get to know these individuals. These individuals are probably often in their office. They're often, in trouble, getting into some trouble. Not all of them. Some of them are like, they like it. They're energetic. They're happy children, I like to say. Others are very isolated. You really don't, it just depends. But is it all in your head? No, I think it's situational and environmental. If we really look around, there's always someone there. There are studies that say that as long as one individual, an adult individual, is present in a children or young adult teen's life, will make a difference. So they don't want to ask for help. Maybe they're not ready yet. Eventually, they will be. Eventually, something will happen. A presentation will arise, or symptomology will kick in, which it would be very unfortunate for them to wait till symptomology is really high. But I feel like eventually someone will help, even if it's a friend. Maybe a friend will stop, will interrupt something that they're thinking, or will hear them out when they're in need. So I just believe that eventually they will seek help. I don't think someone that's struggling with mental health will stay dealing with it. I think eventually, which is possible and unfortunate, that they'll probably seek help later in life when symptoms increase.
I feel like some people don't want to go to a therapist because they feel ashamed of it. So maybe going to a close friend first to get advice, and then slowly make the transition into a professional who can help them deal with the feelings.
Believe it or not, you'll be amazed of how many of these friends will talk to another adult. They'll talk to someone else because they care for their friend. So the majority of the times, and I want to say maybe all the times, that friend that's being the outlet, the venting, the support, will reach and ask for help for the friend. So we see that here at our office a lot, because a friend told the school counselor called the parent, and from there on. And it's awesome that friends, because they care, they'll ask for help. I honestly feel that we're getting better. I feel that society is accepting mental health. I feel like the community, society has made it, nowadays they have like mental health month and suicide month, all these, for all these other disorders, not just mental health, they have for breast cancer. And, I think society is getting better. Now you have like online support groups, like for example, us here at Border Region, we have a crisis hotline. They can call and request for help. We also let them know of our national suicide hotline. We here at Border Region provide trainings. We provide presentations to our community. The schools reach out to us a lot, so we're out there. And the fact that we're out there, not necessarily, we're not promoting our program, but we're letting them know, hey, we're here and these are the services we provide. And I kid you not, each time we do a presentation, we have like 5 or 6 clients come, so it just teaches us, that it helps us understand that what we're doing to our community, with our community, is helping them. So I believe, and it's just my personal opinion, I think stigma is maybe still there, but it's getting better. I think we're accepting it. We're finally seeing mental health as any other disorder.